So comments are an essential part of writing readable and maintainable code in any programming language, including Python. Let me minimize this pane and bring back project files structure. Actually, I'll right-click this project folder and select refactor, select rename, and give it another name, for instance, data, and click refactor. Now I'll right-click this project link again and select new, select directory, and name it 1.datatypes, hit enter, and move this file to this first directory. Click refactor. Now I'll expand this directory and double-click this file. So back to comments. As I've said, comments are an essential part of writing readable and maintainable code. They serve as explanations and notes within your code, helping to document your thought process and clearly describe complex sections. And it will also provide context for future reference or collaboration. In Python, comments are indicated by the hash symbol. So when you type hash, and by the way, when we've started this new file here in new directory, we get this configure Python interpreter error again. So we need to reconfigure Python interpreter by clicking this link, select interpreter settings, add interpreter, add local interpreter, select existing, click OK, and click OK once more. So we start comments with hash symbol, and anything following the hash symbol on the same line is treated as a comment and ignored by the Python interpreter during execution. So we can type, this is a single line command. Now, as you can see, it's not very clear to follow along and read. So let's make this text larger, and maybe we'll use a light theme for this demonstration. Let me click this main menu icon, click settings, click appearance and behavior, click appearance, and click theme dark. I'll select light with light header. And by the way, let me minimize this Edge browser on the backdrop. Now it looks like this. I'll click OK here. I guess it's better. And we can increase the font size with Shift-Alt-Dot. So if you press Shift-Alt plus dot, it will increase the font size. Like this. I'll hide project files. And to decrease the font size, you press Shift-Alt, comma. So that will decrease the font size. Let me increase it again by pressing Shift-Alt-Dot and maximize this window. So we've added our first line to this file, and as you can see, it's underlined. And if we hold cursor here, we can read what's wrong with this particular code. Because Python is a standardized language, and here we can read that it's best practice standard, no new line at the end of the file. So if we hit enter, this note will be gone because now all standards are kept. So that's how you add a single line command. You add hash and then the command itself. Let's add some code here, for instance, x equals 10. And now let's say we want to comment this line as well, to add some notes or important information about this line. So we add hash here and start typing the command. Add, or better to say, assign the value of 10 to the variable x. Again, as you can see, it's underlined. Let's see what's wrong with this line. I'll hold the cursor on it, and we can see that inline commands should start with hash and no new line at the end of the file. So let's add space here, and it's better to keep this code as that. So I'll Control X this one, press delete here, and press enter here and insert this code here. So that's the best way to align this document to the Python standards. And also we need to add an empty line in the end of the document. But you can also keep this inline command like this. Okay, let's move on. And again, we have this underline, so let's hold the cursor here and read this note at least 2 spaces before inline command. So let's add one more space, and now it's completely aligned to the standard. Now, if I place cursor on this line and press Ctrl D, I can duplicate this particular line, and let's say change it to Y, and that will be 20, and press End and change the command that we are assigning the value of 20, let's change it to 20, to the variable Y, and enter once more. Now we can calculate the sum of x plus y, but before we can add a command, hash calculate the sum of x plus y. It will be kept in the result equals, we need result equals x plus y. Enter. And we can print. As you can see, we've got a tip here that we need braces for print function. So let's add them. And PyCharm adds brackets, both brackets automatically. And now we need to insert what we want to print out as a result. So we'll specify result variable. Now we can run this first program in Python, which will calculate the sum of x plus y and give us the result, print out the result of this calculation. So to run this whole file, we can press this arrow icon, and we can also select that we are running, current file or edit configurations. So we are running current file. So we'll press this run using commands.py file. And when we do, we'll get an output of the result, which is 30, and process finished with exit code 0. It means without errors. Now let's continue this file, so I'll hit enter twice. Another way of adding commands is multi-line commands. Python does not have an official syntax for multi-line commands, but you can achieve the same effect by using the multiple single-line commands or leveraging string literals as pseudo commands. So the first method to use multi-lines is to use just several lines of hashed strings like this. Hash, this is a multi-line command. Hit enter and add another line hashed, created by using multiple, hit enter, hash again, single line, it's single commands. Or we can use string literals enclosed in triple quotes, like this. If you type double quotes again, PyCharm will add extra three quotes automatically, so we can hit enter here and add some text here. Let's copy this text, insert it here, delete these symbols, the hashes, and we'll change this one to string literals. You can also use single quotes instead of double quotes. So if we copy this text and start single quotes once, single quotes twice, and let's make some space here and insert the command here. And here we'll add using double quotes, and here we'll insert using single quote. So that's the way you add multi-line commands to your Python code. Now we can comment out the lines of code if we need so. So for instance, let's select these lines of code, place the cursor here and add the command, commented out code, place the code here, And now if we want to comment out the piece of code in PyCharm, we select what we want to comment out and press Ctrl/. That will comment out this piece of code, as you can see. Let's minimize this one. And if we want to uncomment this code, we select it again and press Ctrl// again. So let's add it to our file, and we'll name it like PyCharm shortcuts. I'll insert the text here, and let's add Ctrl+// to comment code. Press Ctrl+/ again on the same line to uncomment it. So let's select it and press Ctrl// and we'll add an extra line, Ctrl+/, and we need Ctrl, add an empty line here. Another useful shortcut was Shift+Alt+dot to make the font size larger. Let's press Ctrl+D and duplicate this line, insert an empty line here and change it Shift+Alt, to make font size smaller. And the last one was Ctrl+D to duplicate a line. That will conclude this demonstration on how to use commands in Python code and how to use different shortcuts in PyCharm.